Good morning. It is wonderful to be in this space with other heroes of children and youth, and it's just great to listen to these issues that we're discussing today, but more importantly, coming up with solutions and working together. My name is Joe Gothard, and I'm the Superintendent of Schools for the Burnsville-Eagan-Savage ISD 191 School District, and I'm also a proud member of the Board of Directors for the Greater Twin Cities United Way. The Greater Twin Cities United Way has been a leader in the creation of career academies programming that's benefiting thousands of high school students in the metro and greater Minnesota. At Burnsville High School, we have reimagined our program of studies and physical spaces to meet the needs of today's students and tomorrow's members of the workforce. Our model is simply called Pathways. Our philosophy led us to create an open and visible opportunities that are under one roof at our high school. We want all students to access programs and classes like Certified Nursing Assistant, Culinary Arts, Welding, financial education experiences in our school credit union, or to design, produce, and market their creation in our fabrication lab. And these are just a sampling of the 14 different pathways that we are currently offering. Our country and metro are becoming increasingly racially, linguistically, and culturally diverse. Our strong future as communities, as businesses, 2 to 4 year colleges, and as a workforce must reflect these changes. I know we have a couple slides that we are going to share that illustrate this. So when we think about pathways, it's typically an 8+ year pathway to earn family sustaining wages. A very traditional pathway, 4 years of high school, post-secondary experience, be it 2 or 4 year, and then hopefully that great job that's going to make you a great deal of money, but more importantly, keep you engaged and giving you opportunities for advancement. But when we think of career academies, or pathways as we call them, we're making efforts to overlap these experiences. Okay, so it doesn't have to be that traditional, that linear approach. It can be partnering with business and community mentors that can come into high schools and offer highly engaging and rigorous opportunities for our students to find meaning and relevancy in their high school education. It's such a key today. When we say pathways at Burnsville High School, we're not choosing a major. We're making sure that our students have real-world 21st century experiences that are going to prepare them for their futures. Most importantly, these opportunities are great achievement gap breakers in terms of higher engagement, increased graduation rates, something that's important to all of us. I saw the parent hands go up, less college debt as our students do finish their professional schooling opportunities. And most importantly, our communities embrace and manage the dynamics of difference. Okay, we're asking our communities to come into our high schools to work with all of our students, and it's just really outstanding, and I'm very pleased with the progress we're making and thankful for all the support that we've been able to have. So one important other piece with that is that the relationships that are established with teachers, school staff, business partners, these have to be personalized and aimed at building each student's individual capacities so that they can follow their aspirations. Because you see, in order to have aspirations, a student must have hope. And in order to have hope, a student must be exposed to all the opportunities that they have. And too many times in our society, hope is that key indicator. You either have it or you don't. And we want to make sure that all of our students have hope, and that's a community hope that our kids can do a great job and benefit from all we have to offer. So enough from me, and I could talk all day about the wonderful things that we're doing, my colleagues are doing, and how it's making a great impact on our kids and our communities and our staff. But we have an expert panel with us today as well. So I'd like them to please introduce themselves, their organization, and talk a little bit about their roles in this great work.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Laura Bordelon. I'm a lobbyist for the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce, and that is a statewide business organization that represents all different types of businesses across the state, everything from a 1- and 2-person shop, thanks Joe, up to our headquartered multinational corporations in town. And my job, frankly, is to translate business problems to the legislature and then translate legislative solutions back to our members. We don't feel like all problems need to be solved at the legislature, and that's one of the reasons I'm so glad Frank invited me to speak here. Is one of our ideas is a private sector solution to a workforce challenge, and I'll speak more about that in a little bit.
Hello, my name is Carrie Dennison-Canine, and I'm the Executive Director of Ignite Afterschool. As Minnesota's statewide after-school network, Ignite works to strengthen the quality of programs, after-school programs across the state through partnership and advocacy, so that every young person can benefit from the power of after-school. And to explain a little bit about why after-school is so critical and such an important part of the work that we're investing in, I want to first say that when we talk about after-school, we may all think about those organized activities that only happen from 3 to 6 in a school, but we define that really broadly to include anything that's happening in the summer, after school, before school, on weekends, organized activities for young people where it's choice-based. They choose to be there. It's relational. It's based on building positive relationships with adults. And where young people, it's a low-stakes environment where they're exploring and experimenting. So, and research shows that when you invest in after school and when young people participate, it improves their ABCs, their attendance in school, positive behavior, and course completion. And just peeking at some data, the hot off the press data from the Minnesota Student Survey, we also are seeing that young people who participate in after-school programs outside of school buildings report higher positive self-esteem and other sort of self-image than any other category of young people. So that's really exciting as well.
We're also so fortunate to have 2 students with us today, and I'd like them to introduce themselves and their experiences a little bit. And they're also joined by members of their family, and I'd invite you to introduce them to our audience as well.
Hello, my name is Crystal Samano. I am a mother and I take care of my family. I am currently in 12th grade at Metro Heights Academy. But I am also in a program called D3 that stands for Destination Diploma to Degree. I am pursuing the Early Childhood Education degree at Minneapolis Community and Technical College. I am seriously thinking about transferring to a 4-year university to complete my bachelor's degree. I am the first one in my family to go this far in education.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tyrese Leverty. I'm a current senior at Burnsville High School. I'm currently interested in the business and administration pathway at my high school with hopes and aspirations to become a public relations and communications director. I'm hoping to eventually get a master's degree, and that'll be the highest level of education in my family that anyone has received as well. So I'm really excited to be here today. I'm really honored to be on this panel and share my own personal high school insight on everything.
You both do have some family members with you. Would you like to introduce your family members?
Yes, I would love to. So today I have my mother, Cassandra Leverty, here today. I'd like to thank her personally for all of the hard work and commitment that she's done for me to ensure my prosperity and everything and all my endeavors, as well as continuing to really uplift me and develop me over all of my years, because now I'm a senior and I'll be going on to bigger and better things as well.
My sister is here today with me, my boyfriend, and my son. Also, my teacher, Ingrid, from Metro Heights, and my D3 coordinator. Namibia.
Laura, let's turn to you a little bit. I know we have a slide illustrating this a little bit, but if you could share how big is the need for skilled workers in Minnesota?
One of the things we do in our role is to spend a lot of time talking with business about trends, economic trends, and one of the trends that they're experiencing that's not a positive is they're really struggling to find workers. You can see from our chart, we do a survey of businesses all year round, and in the past 12 months, this is for 2016, 70% of businesses in the metro area are saying they're having challenges finding workers. 74% in greater Minnesota are saying they're having a challenge finding workers. This isn't really news. We've been seeing this trend over time, as you can see from the chart, and it's becoming really acute. Businesses are really scrambling to find people with skills for the jobs that they have available. So it is a great time to be in the market and thinking about what you want to be doing as an employee, because employers are very interested in connecting with you and hiring you and finding you and bringing them into their companies. So there's huge demand for jobs and skilled workers in our state. It's part of the issue is a demographic change that we've known has been coming for a while, but the need is very acute, and there's a quick scramble to find people to fill these jobs.
Carrie, if you could please elaborate a little bit on the development of students and after-school programming, and just talk about some of the individual benefits and community benefits that provides.
Absolutely. I spoke a little bit earlier about the benefits of after school, and I want to just say a little bit more about the importance that after school plays in being complementary to the school day. So we see that when young people can combine learning in the school day with a low-stakes environment where they're really exploring and playing with the concepts that the learning in the school day, it really reinforces that learning, they benefit tremendously from that. And also that they're really there to build their social emotional competencies, to explore career opportunities through after school. And it also really, we have years of research demonstrating that it really supports their academic success as well.
Wonderful. Crystal, could you please talk a little bit about your current school experience and talk about how it's helpful based on your previous experiences?
Honestly, I have always been really motivated to go to school. I have had great support regarding my education. My teachers have supported me a lot to this journey. My experience now as a D3 student, I think it's very important for me. I really like this experience because I never thought of being a college student, and just having this opportunity to be in college right now while I'm still in high school, it means a lot, and I'm nervous. It means a lot because I have a lot of support on college and also in high school.
Wonderful. Great job, Crystal. We're all very proud of you, and you're nervous, but you're on to big things, so great job. Tyrese, really the same question to you. Talk about your current experiences and maybe some experiences you've had in the past that maybe haven't been as engaging as yours are now.
Yeah, so I would say I kind of have a unique experience in the sense that this is only my third or fourth year at my district. I actually went to several other South suburban districts just to kind of really emphasize on that too. I was at 2 different ones, and I had moved several different times throughout my younger years in education. And so that really helped me to understand different ways that schools can be set up, as well as different learning environments and how that affects a child's learning. So when I got to Burnsville High School, I had only 3 years in my high school to actually complete all the necessary courses and everything up until this Vision 181 that Dr. Gothard spoke about. This is now kind of the realignment of grades as well as curriculum, and to really focus on the children's needs and their pathways. So for my own personal pathway, as I spoke earlier, I'm really interested in the business and kind of public relations aspect of that. And I'm really excited to kind of see what I can do with that. Only last year, I started this small subcommittee called Vision 181 that kind of stole the name, but it really was a small group of kids who focused on really developing communications between superintendents, principals, as well as many other community leaders to spread awareness and education about what this new referendum really meant for our school district, to several different parents and students in the community. So after I found a passion for that, it really led me to my pathway, and it helped me to find where I am right now.
Laura, the Minnesota Business Chamber is leading an innovative pilot in Winona, Minnesota that is helping bridge high school students to local business. Can you please tell us about this innovative pilot?
Yes. This is under the heading of private sector solutions. So we got really lucky. We got a very generous grant from the Bush Foundation to explore this idea we had which we call business education networks. And the root of the idea is to directly connect employers with students. Too often, employers are kind of waiting till the end of the process to talk with students about job opportunities. So we thought, let's get started with that earlier, as early as 8th grade all the way to 12th grade and frankly the first 2 years of college. And the idea is to talk with them more frequently about the kind of jobs that are available in their community, the kind of coursework and skills that those jobs need, what they pay, and once you're in those jobs, potential career growth within those companies. We selected Winona because Winona is a smaller community, but it's also the home to over 100 different manufacturers. There are many industry sectors that need workers, and manufacturing is one of the ones that is the most challenged. And it's also a very dynamic industry, as Joe indicated with the program that they're running in Burnsville. This is not an old-fashioned industry anymore. There's a lot of high tech in manufacturing, and it's also incredibly diverse. Some of the employers we're working with range from knitting mills to very high-tech plastic makers that can mold products for sale around the world, to medical device manufacturers, welders, heavy industrial machinery, and all of these things are happening in a very dynamic environment where there's global competition for products. So one of the great attractions for these jobs is the problem solving that is required. So what we're doing is a number of different efforts to reach out to kids. One is a CEO in the classroom, where a CEO will go to an 8th grade classroom and talk about what they do at their company, what the jobs look like at those companies, what they pay at that company, and the kind of classes that you need to start thinking about as an 8th grader to be ready for potentially college, to be able to get a job. Although many of these manufacturers will hire at the high school level. They are very, very hungry for workers and are anxious to train those workers. CEOs in the classroom is one example. They also explored an idea last summer called Teacher in the Classroom, where they had a couple of industrial arts teachers go to 4 different manufacturers and get immersed in the type of needs that they have for coursework. It was a great experience for both sides. We also do a career expo with over 400 different Winona businesses and 400 kids coming in and engaging with a number of different Winona businesses on all of the job opportunities in that community. And then we've just recently launched, this past couple of weeks, a new program called REACH, which identifies juniors in high school, guarantees them a summer internship, has them take specific classes that'll help them with the internship, and if they complete the program, there's a job waiting on the back end. So we are waiting to see the results of all of these different impact points with students and employers, but we're pretty excited about it. It's a great way for employers to connect directly with kids, and we're hoping the impact is students get really excited about the job opportunities in their community.
Great. Thank you, Laura. Carrie, Ignite After School has an innovative pilot focused on building pathways to science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM careers. Tell us why.
Yes, so similar to what Laura was saying, we've been really paying attention to the data on workforce and finding that STEM is the fastest growing job market with growth 3 times greater than other kinds of non-STEM careers. And also STEM jobs pay more, so they create more stability for families. And also, we were really inspired by the work done by Minnesota Compass, who laid out the STEM cradle to career continuum that talked about what we need to be doing and how we need to be investing in experiences for young people from elementary to middle school through high school to really support these kinds of pathways. And so at Ignite After School, we are both, laying out, we've produced and laid out the best practices and effective practices to engage young people in STEM learning and after school, and are pulling together after school programs from all across the state to really look at the ways that they're embedding STEM learning opportunities in what they do.
Great. Crystal, back to you. As you plan for your future and career, tell us what you need. I mean, you're in a room of influential people who are working with young people just like you. What do you need to be successful in your future?
I plan my future, one thing I need to succeed are scholarships. There are not many resources and scholarships information available for undocumented students. And yeah, part of that that I'm working, I think, the double or harder than any other student is to be able to go to school and someone give me the opportunity to have a scholarship. I will graduate high school in June, and I will be a full-time student at MCTC as a STARS scholar.
Great. Tyrese, and I have to let everybody know, this is a non-student day for Burnsville Schools, so Tyrese is here in a shirt and tie bright and early, so I was pretty proud of that. He almost beat me here, so great to have you here. So talk to us a little bit about your future and career and things that you'll need for your continued success as well.
So to kind of start that off, I think I'd like to touch on what's been successful for me so far. In my own personal experience with Burnsville High School and Vision 181 in particular, I would say that the physical changes that came along with Vision 181 to classrooms, that's kind of redeveloping classroom spaces from rows and desks in the front of the room to collaborative areas that's way more beneficial for businesses and real-world experience, as well as the technology. We've all been granted a Chromebook for individual use, every single student at the high school, and that's really incorporated us to be, integrated with not only our grades, but a program called Schoology, where we really bring the classroom outside of the actual classroom and outside of the high school. So that's been really successful. So I think that those two things are key components to success and collaboration for any other ventures. But I'd also like to say that extracurricular programs and after-school programs, as Carrie had mentioned, are really vital for kind of individual student opportunities as well. So I'm a person that's participated in many, many after-school programs. I'd say over 14 at my own personal high school level, which is amazing that I've had the opportunity. So just to name some of them, I've been in College Possible, and I know that we offer several different programs called AVID and Upward Bound that really, focus on student preparation for high school and then beyond high school and college as well. Our high school is a huge provider in CAS and college and school credits, and I know I'm excited to take up opportunity of that, taking CAS Sociology next semester, and I'm also in AP classes as well that I'm really happy to say that have been greatly beneficial to me. But in regards to the future, I would say that we really just need to participate in networking opportunities, kind of like this one here. I'm so glad to see a room full of so many people that are dedicated to not only my future and what I'm hoping to do, but several others who will come after me too. And I'm really excited to say that not only networking, but different programs like internships can really expedite the process of getting students engaged with the workforce and really bringing them outside of the school faster.
Thank you, Tyrese. Laura, what is the role of post-secondary institutions in some of these emerging career pathway collaborations?
There is so much opportunity. I think one of the great ways that we've engaged with a lot of the higher education system in Winona is to just talk with them about what we're up to. They are more than willing to try to fine-tune the class offerings that they're providing for our program. Again, what we've learned, Joe, is this is kind of a steady and persistent conversation with them about needs. Manufacturing is dynamic, and a lot of those needs change over time. So to have a class that stays the same over a series of years doesn't work well for employers, and it sure doesn't work well for students. So that's one of the goals of our program, is to talk with the trainers, which is not just the higher ed system, but also the workforce centers, about how to keep their program offerings nimble and reflect current work environments.
Great, thank you. Carrie, let's turn to you, and we'll talk about equity a little bit. And I have to mention, no plug or no Oscar nomination plug here, but seeing the movie Hidden Figures recently, it made me think in looking at this question: why is it important to help students, especially students of color, see themselves in a STEM career?
Yes, so this is so critically important to Ignite's work as we think about building access to STEM through after school. And also, looking back at research and data that shows, and I want to say a little bit, if we remember what Chava said earlier, that It's not that young people of color or low-income youth don't have the same aspirations as any other young person. And data from the Minnesota Student Survey shows that Black students, Hispanic students, Native American students, they have the same college aspirations. They have the same sense of self-identity, high levels of self-esteem as any other student. But what Chava also said is that we're not providing the boots. The boots are not equitably distributed, which means the opportunities are not equitably distributed. So, and we find that in research from Wilder Foundation that shows that, that young people in fourth grade of color receive less instruction in science than other young people, compared to white students. And so these are the kinds of things we really want to think about also in after school, is how are we distributing, how are we ensuring that young people have the same opportunities to explore STEM, to dig into it, and to think about various kinds of partnerships that are bringing opportunities to young people and making sure that those partnerships are happening with young people that may not otherwise have those experiences.
Great, thank you. Crystal or Tyrese, could you, a little off script here, so bear with me. Could you think of one adult in your education experience, maybe someone who you haven't mentioned today, who's really been that difference maker in pointing you towards a direction that you didn't know existed? Someone who's guided you.
So I can speak on this. I think that this is very hard because I think given my background and everything, there's so many influential adults that I could definitely name. But I would say not only my mother is definitely one of them. I think that a strong support system from home is really crucial to kind of student success in school and outside of school as well. I think that continuous support and development is amazing, and I'm glad to say that I've had that. But I would also say that many community leaders, like Burnsville Strong is a huge student-teacher organization at my high school, and I would say that Jen Waller, who founded and continues to run Burnsville Strong, has been really incremental in all of my personal experience and everything that I've had to do. So I would name those two people.
Crystal?
Can I say something?
Please.
I will say that I appreciate my professors at college, my teachers from Metro Heights, my D3 coordinator, and for all the support, also my boyfriend, my family, for all the support and helping me through this exciting, stressful, but unique experience. I came to Minnesota when I was 12 years old. I am from Mexico, and where I come from is a very humble, poor place. Sadly, the education system in Mexico is not the same as Minnesota. Coming here at a very young age made a huge impact in my life. It made me appreciate education even more. I knew that education was the only way I could help my family in the future. Metro Heights support has been really helpful. Teachers are willing to help you learn, and they give you all the resources to be successful. If I could change something about school, my answer is nothing. Because I appreciate everything, and I feel very blessed to be in this country that has gave me the opportunity to go further in education. I thought that my education was going to end after I graduated high school. And Metro Heights introduced me to the D3 program. At first, I doubted in accepting this program because I was so insecure that I wasn't gonna be able to achieve anything. But I think this program is amazing. It is a great opportunity to explore how college is. Many people can tell you how the college life is, but you won't understand unless you live it yourself.
Wonderful. You know, Crystal and Tyrese is a student here for your description, but you're leaders, role models, and difference makers, and your perspectives are incredible, so thank you. A quick lightning round here, so I'll with John, 140 characters or less, but here's your STEM. What are you most excited about when you think about the future of career pathways for high school students in Minnesota? This can go to anyone. Any of you. What excites you about career pathways? What excites you? What do you get excited about when you think about the future of career pathways for high school students in Minnesota?
I can start with this one. So I would say that I'm most excited about the possibilities and the evolution of technology and education to assist young students and their many generations and the many generations to come for the future. I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited that I will be an early childhood educator, and I will have the opportunity to encourage children to get educated and to become a better generation than it is right now.
Either of you?
I think I'm most excited about seeing more and more opportunities that are grounded in cultural communities around STEM, like a program in St. Paul where a Black man is working with Black young men to really engage in STEM learning. And I think when young people see people who look like them engaged in this kind of learning and then these STEM pathways, that's what's most exciting to me.
I would just add, Joe, that good ideas generate even better ideas. I mean, these are just some examples of how to engage young people with career pathways. And we found through our program that we just keep going. There's more ideas about how to do it better and how to reach out in communities across the state. So it's just a start.
Great. Well, thank you all for this space and for our wonderful expert panelists, and have a great day, everyone.
Well, that was terrific. As I said in the introduction about this panel, there's an amazing number of innovators in our state, whether it be from the business community, from the after-school community, from the education community, and then, of course, the young students and the parents who are driving some of this change as they request that school systems and post-secondary work together differently, and that this connection to careers and real opportunities is made more realistic for them. I think we have a long ways to go, but wow, what great entrepreneurs we have in our state. Please just thank them one more time.